1. That's 2, 3. It's alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. To the side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Hands up, reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, to your left, center, inhale, exhale. Hands up, reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, to your left, center, inhale, exhale. Okay, one more time. Hands up, reach down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Center, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands and waist, circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, cross. Knees, circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Switch hands, other direction. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, hands and waist. Neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Okay, circular movements. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Hands up, pull an inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, spread your feet. Turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, turn, stretch it out. Switch. 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 Straighten the front knee. Switch. 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 Center. Okay, shake it out. Hands up, pull in, inhale, exhale. Hi, Joe. Okay, side to side shift. Okay, Sana. Okay, insert the needle. Gonna go up and down. Switch. And Sana. Okay, shake it out. Leg swing. And switch. Switch side to side. Switch. Okay, Sana, shake it out. Hands up, pull in, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, hands here. Silk grilling. Switch. Okay, Sana, open and close. Switch. Okay, Sana, circular movements. Okay, lower hoop. Shoulder height. Elbows down. Palms down. Straighten up. Extend. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Diagonal flying. Okay, switch. Okay, center, cloud hands. Okay, palms down. Lift up. Carry tiger to the mountain. Okay, center, infinity sign. Okay, form the fist. Okay, palms together, strum the lute. Turn, draw the bow. Okay, fan to the back. Okay, raise the hand. Palms down. Okay, good. So we'll go to the short form. Okay. Okay. Oh, I forgot those. How did that happen? Reverse. Okay, palms down. Bigger circle. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing. Okay, anything else? Shoulder rolls, okay. Boy, must have been that Mai Tai I had yesterday. Okay. Boy, I missed. Okay, reverse. And sana. And swing, leg arm swing. Oh. Okay, good. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now we can go through the sequence. Ready, feet parallel. Fist on the elbow. Hold the ball, diagonal flying. Insert the needle. Fan to the back. Turn. Stroke down. Parry and punch. Form the fist. Punch, divert, block, and punch. Cross the arms. Leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Hands down, turn, pivot. Go to the rear corner. Carry tiger to the mountain, turn the palms out. Square the feet. Raise the left. Bend. Stork flaps wings. Turn. The left side grasps the sparrow's tail. Left side single whip. Hold the ball. Reverse. Diagonal flying. Sit back. Stroke down. Pot the horse's mane. Step up. Go to neutral. Vertical elbow. Stroke down. Pot the horse's mane. Cross over. Jade Lady work shuttle. Turn back to the front. Single whip. Cloud hands. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, let's go to this position. Let's stroke across. Lower and lean forward into the fist under elbow position. Neutral. Now we're going to do the repulse the monkey. So we go forward and turn to the left. Straighten the back foot. Now if you sit back, check your weight before you step through. Then you control that backward descending foot with the forward leg. And then you can sit back. So that's how you control your center going forward and backwards. 1, 2. Now you keep your back twisted like this. You pass through center. Find the rear position in the leg. Then transfer back. So it's like brush knee going backwards. So to control the rear step, you have to pass through center. Yeah, because this is what happens. If you don't pass through center, then it becomes an uncontrolled step back. So you want to control your center so you know where you're going to plant your foot. That's part of muscle memory, knowing where that rear foot has to go. So that's what we have to do so we're trying to control our center of mass, we have to pass through here. And then we shift. So we're actually going from here a little bit to the side rear, and then we're here. So this is how you would practice it, by straightening, passing through. Now if you pass through, then you still have control. So over time you don't have to stop as long. So that's why maybe it's not noticed that we actually pause there for a split second. Yep. So that's why sometimes when I see you lose the balance, maybe don't realize that you have to go through that process. So everything is a process. So we turn the waist. We can think straighten the foot and then move back. But then as you integrate, when you turn the waist, then the foot spins by itself. You see that? On the back side. On the back side. So that's why we turn. And then we sit. And then, so between this position, and this position, if you look at the floor, it's like a little triangle. It's point A, point B, and then C would be here. A, C, and D. Now we went like this. Once you know your position, and you went straight, that's what would happen. But because we're picking up the foot, it does that. See, so now we were going like this, then that would be a technique to sweep. Yeah. So when you so it's part of the upper torso positioning. So when we're here and we straighten and we get the center here, when you step out, if you don't sit back into this leg, then you're going to feel a little bit off balance and you go forward because your body weight is still on this side. So when you go backwards from here, when you turn, okay, you have to square the body. So this is where your spine has to be over this foot. So each leg actually carries the weight. So now I'm here. And you go like this, you feel. So you don't want to turn, don't turn too early. Turn while you're back here. Then you can go forward. So all the effort is really on the rear leg, the supporting leg. Yeah. See, because when the feet attach to ground, that's your rooting. So when you look at the hands, eventually you have to carry the movement into your arms, into your body, through your center, and then down your legs into the sole of your foot to find the root of the movement. So when we go forward here, it comes back to the center, and it comes through the body into the leg, and then there's your root. Now when you're here, from the leg, it turns through the body, up the leg through the body, and then you traverse across here, and then it ends up in the hand, the fingertip. So that cycle of movement, the kinetic sequence, really is your body connecting the linkage from the bottom to the top, from the top to the bottom. That's how you maintain the upper-lower coordination. Upper-lower coordination is the hands and the legs working as this relationship. But the thing is, we don't understand what the relationship is because the body's confused. So the process is getting each part of your body to understand what it has to do. That's what happens up here. But it only can interpret that action from either the experience or the information you're feeding it. So if you're feeding it the wrong information, then it's missed the whole chunk of the transition. So, but it is a process. You have to go through this process because you're teaching your body how to move. You know, most of us don't realize that we teach our body because we just do it. We just do mimicking. So we see the hand, you know, and then there's a step back. So, but what's the process in the step back? What's the process in the step forward? The step forward movement is consistently toeing out, passing through center, forward, unweighted, weighted, unweighted, and then the process continues. So that's becomes a habit. So when we shift our weight and we step through from doing over and over again, we build this sequential habit. So all our habits that we do, you know, in life is just from doing it over and over again. So if you're doing something over and over again and it's not passing through center, then your natural response is not to pass through center. But once you learn to pass through center and you control your center of mass, then this is where your balance is. Right? This is where your balance. When we're here and we shift, we find our center because this is the supporting foot. And this is now without the relationship of the hands and legs, you have a different experience because the relationship of upper and lower allows you to control that mass. If the upper and the lower are not coordinated or working in the correct cross, sort of the contralateral relationship, then what ends up happening is this is doing the wrong thing and this is doing the wrong thing. So when you try to stand up, the body's like this. So it has to have those lines of connection through your skeletal structure. But that's really something that's, you know, that is theoretical, but it's really what happens. The Repulse the Monkey? Yeah. Okay, so let's do it from here. 1. So here's your triangle, right? One side. 1, 2, 3. There's your cover hand. 4, 5, and 6. You see, there's increments there too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. That phasing of movement, first this, then this, and then they connect here. 1, 2, 3. So that's the there. Then we reset the center. Then we go forward. Then we turn, shift, center, out, sit, turn, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's one step back. Second one is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then it's repeated. But you see, that those increments, it's a control factor. You have to control this, you have to control this, and all the joint positions. So we have these positions, we have this position, we have this. So this and this is like this and this. You see, when we do this, is cover. Snake sticks our tongue, cover and thrust. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, because it's like stick figures when you draw a picture of a human, it's just a bunch of, little lines. There's a vertical line, there's a horizontal line, there's a horizontal line, but because we're here, and we sink and we turn and it comes down. All of these pieces, the components of your body is manipulated. I'm vertical, I'm horizontal, it's down. So how do I get my hand from here to here and then get this down here? I have to relax my shoulder. So it's an illusion to think that it's just a circular motion. It's really this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what fist under elbow as a transition is to here. So when we're here and we turn our hands, this rotation ends up finishing together. That's your final position. So that final position is the structure integrity, that the point that's applicable. So if you were doing pushing hands and we're doing this, if the body doesn't know the twist, when you're pushing forward and coming back, and hasn't built the relationship of the hand and the leg and the twist, then it doesn't know the feeling of that motion, because in contact and you feel this, the twisting like this. We can stand here. See, on the interception of this, it is this, and then this hand comes out. This would attach, push forward, and then this would attach. But the stability of this position is required here. So that vertical spine is your axis. When you're here and you turn, it's all in the spine. But the spine is connecting all your ribs. So the spine is moving, your ribs are moving as well. Your sternum is connecting all of these components. The shoulder girdle, all of this is one piece. So the controlling of this is what's controlling the center of mass. Because as you manipulate into the position, it creates a structural integrity to have strength, otherwise it has weakness. So the weakness is in the body form. So that's why the postures are important, to understand the finalization of the posture and where it begins to make that kinetic link. So grasp the sparrow's tail. All your postures have these positions, the geometry position, the triangle, the circle, or the square being the push. Even when we open, this is your square, because it's parallel, and this is your square. This is your square. You see? So between vertical and horizontal is what ties it together. So that's a vertical line movement. That's a horizontal movement. But you have to move something to get that to happen. When you move this, then something has to happen here. So that's the relationship. Okay. So is that okay? That's Repulse the Monkey. So that's something that you can, and fist on the elbow. Right. So fist on the elbow is this. On this side, we don't have it in the form, but we have this. Parry and punch. We worked on that last class. Stroke down, invert, sit back, turn, open, split, turn, and project forward on the center line. Now, while this looks like it's coming down vertically down, your fist has to be in front of the nose and the elbow is toward the hip. So it's really like a triangle. You can't go to a full vertical and strike like this, because now your arm is out of position. See, this is not natural to have it in like that, striking. Now it has to come down this way. But the finishing is just sinks here. That doesn't go here. Right? The first one, this is the natural stroke vertical, like you're hitting with a hammer, sometimes called the hammer fist. This comes in as a secondary defensive motion. This goes here, this goes here. As you invert, the hands actually start to change like this. Then it changes like this, and then this hand does that. And the shoulder relaxes. So body intelligence, each side does its own task. So it's doing, the movement that's required to close that side or open that side or connect with the other hand. That's what the right-left relationship is. When we're here, that's from fan through the back. That's this. When we drop the elbow, that's the vertical down. It goes over the knee. This hand comes in as you stroke down. When you invert, my hand is on the other side is already changing. To adapt to this, use your horizontal center hoop. So when I'm here and I invert the hand, now I'm here. Now when this folds, these exchange up and down. Then I turn. When I turn, my hand starts to go to oblique like this, and then it ends up coming to here. And when that happens, this happens and it comes here. And there's your sort of protection here, and this is the vertical hand. So if you do it in one motion, it looks like this. See? So the body intelligence that we're talking about is the ability to maneuver on the secondary hand. But they both work together, right? So you can imagine how much this is doing. It's churning like crazy trying to figure all that stuff out. So we talk about brain plasticity and how you build intelligence through movement. That's what happens. But the apparatus that helps us think and do things is the same machinery. So if you're building that there, you can imagine that, the way you analyze things and think is still being, processed. But you can use it for different things. This is just for this. But you have to have some method or vehicle to build this, this machinery, this information up here. But it's just using this information so your brain can connect all those, the wiring there. So it's... Yeah, so if I did this like this, and I just kept it all together, then my hand would be like that. So what I'm doing here is connecting as a touching now. So touching is a tactile training, because when you do touch something or a person's arm or a body, then you have to know where your position is relative to your other person, and also what the forces are being dealt with. Because once you touch, should my hand be like this or should it be like this, or does it change? So that's a sensitive, action to forces. If my hand is like this, and if I want to push, either I go like this, or I turn, or my hand goes like this. If my hand is like this, then it goes to here, and it goes there, and it turns. So every time you change positions, the surface of contact and the intent of the motion changes. So the sensitivity is not tied just to the fingers. That's all we know is, the tactile, agility of the fingers. It has to go into your body, into your arms, and then into your torso. When it goes into your torso, it has to go into your legs, otherwise you're unstable. So what happens when you move, it's always connected through ground. So, yeah, the different training techniques. See what I just did there? I just did that without the big motion. So my hand, this is yielding to the movement. See? So going to press and changing your hands and pressing is part of that manipulation. But those are all different strategies of what you've learned from, these shapes and these transitions and how you manipulate skeletal structure. But ultimately, the manipulation of skeletal structure creates circulation, because everything that we do requires energy, and it happens on a cellular level. So you can imagine that we're producing, all this energy in the body to create these motions. But we're not using brute force energy, where it's very physical, and you waste a lot of energy because it doesn't know. What we're trying to do is build the knowing in the motion to detect how much strength, how little strength, and the body calculates all that. So you're efficient. And why aren't we sweating profusely, other than what we were talking about earlier? You know, but so we're not sweating, we're not hyperventilating, we're not breathing heavily, because we're not using a lot of wasted energy. Because we're using efficient energy by moving the body, and that creates the circulation that brings oxygen and nutrients to your cells to create the energy to do this. So that's the cycle of the motion. So the deep breathing, all of this should tie the whole body together and eventually be one unit. So they call it one chi, or one breath. Okay, so let's go through. So we went through a bit of things. So let's go back into this cycle, and then we'll do the long piece of the long form. Here. Okay? So we set up, flip it over, cross. And this is, crossing is just covering. Open, cover, twist out, and this is folding. Folding is bringing the hand toward you, but dropping the elbow slightly by sinking. And then we lift, and then we kick. And we bring the hands down, but look at the body has to turn. So once the body's used to turning like that, then your vertical line, the tailbone, will look for the heel. So you're here. Cross or cover. High pat the horse. Cover. And fold. And we lift and we kick. If we stay here, bring the right hand on top. Fold again. Lift the knee, heel kick, and then we go back to this position. So we're practicing a transition of the upper body, but we're also practicing some control of where our supporting leg is and where's the strength come from. It's not just a physical muscular strength. It's the alignment of your skeleton, because when the skeleton's aligned, then it stays in a vertical position by itself. It's like stacking a bunch of blocks, and it's just stacked up. It doesn't take any, mechanical support. It doesn't need like nails to hold it together, because all you're doing is stacking it. So the most efficient way to stack our skeleton is when it's vertical and aligned. So that's how we stay in the erect position. So then the heel kick, right? So we're here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, cover. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Fold. Lift. And kick, and back down. Now when we kick, because there's upper opening, it can't be too forceful. It has to be soft. Because if it's forceful, then you become top heavy. Top heavy means the force on top is going to throw your body off. So these are concepts, but if you understand the concept, then you know, well, I should be more relaxed on the upper body, more stable on the lower body. So it's like working the body into the triangle vertical position. So, okay. All right, let's go through the sequence after the cloud hands for the first one and go through the kicks, okay? So we're here. So I want to take that other side, and then, so we can go through that section. Right? We're going to turn 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick. Now you have to cross behind and then make the 180-degree turn. Put your right hand on top, fold your elbows, and you do the heel kick. And then go back to neutral, palms set up for the brush knee and push. Second brush knee goes to the left. Goes to the front. Goes to the opposite side. Right side, planting punch. So it's like a brush knee with a planting punch. Now let's go look at the vertical line. We just went like that. That's just like insert needle as a motion. You see, it's just a vertical line. Just that this becomes the planting hand. Now we turn, pass through center. Now we just went through part of this back fist. See? So when we turn, this is something you can, just as a reference, when you turn, you're going to be in the opposite foot. But if you don't turn by pivoting on this foot, you're not going to be in the opposite stance, because what ends up happening is you start moving your feet. So if you just pivot, taking you in this direction, once you put weight here, then this foot's free to come to the correct position to do the parry and punch. Then you step up again. This is high pat the horse, just like the first set of movements. Cover, fold. We're going to lift the knee open and swing it around behind. This is like a scissors stance or cross stance. Left hand goes the vertical. Open the stance like single whip. Opening the horse stance. Come up through center and turn to the corner. Drop your elbow. 180 to the rear corner, your left vertical, turn to your center, and then lift the hands. Okay, now we'll make the fist, form the fist, and turn toward the side mirror. And we're here. Cross the arms, level. Here's your right heel. Okay, we did the left on the other side. Here's your two punches to the ear. Sit back, flip it over, fold the elbows, make a little arc here, cross over. We did this toe to heel pivot, and then reverse the hands, get the left hand on top, fold, small arc here, and then here's your parry and punch. That's the one we just worked on. Form the fist and punch. Divert, lock, and punch. Cross the arms, leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Carry tiger to the mountain. Cross the arms and we go to the corner. Oblique brush knee push. Second one. Turn. Brush knee push left. Okay. Go to right side, grasp the sparrow's tail. Okay. Hook your wrist and turn back to the front. Okay, now we're going to hold the ball, reverse the ball, diagonal flying. Sit back, vertical, stroke down, pot the horse's mane 5 times. And then we're going to step, after doing 2, we're going to step and move to the left. Step up, stroke down. Toe out, step up, and turn. So because we have to change planes of movement, that's where we get sometimes a little lost. So that's a spatial awareness and a spatial consciousness of that space, developing the 3-dimensional motion. Now we have to sit back and turn and turn. Jade Lady work shadow. Then we stroke down for pot the horse's mane. Then we cross corner. Do the same movements. and grasp the sparrow's tail. Turn. And we do cloud hands. Okay, now we're going to do the cover hand. That's the cover, the snake sticks out tongue. Invert, invert, pull down, step up, cross the hands, lift the right knee. This is the Wu Style Golden Cockerel. Step down and lift. Okay. Step backwards. Here's your Repulse the Monkey. Remember, pass through center, forward and straighten. Lower. Twist, carry tiger to the mountain. Hold the ball. Shift. Diagonal flying. Shift. Step up. Press forward. Raise the hand. Bend from the waist. And relax. Toe heel. Brush knee and push. Insert needle. Fan to the back. And this is just a typical sequence in all the forms. The Tai Chi Paradigm 108 form. Step up, form the fist and punch. Divert, block and punch. Cross the... Oh, no, we step up, not cross. Yep. Grasp the sparrow's tail right side, and we're back to single whip. We have our third set of cloud hands. And we shift. Shift, shift, pivot. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. One more time. Step out. Hook your wrists. Open the stance. And we're here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Set up. Palm strikes face. Turn just like a parry and punch, but we're going to do this single lotus kick. And then go to the left side, brush knee and push. Then we go to the forward position, to the punch down the crotch. Then we step up again, grasp the sparrow's tail. Single whip again. No more cloud hands. We just go to the second downward posture. So we have the cover. The snake sticks out tongue. Invert the hands. The elbows flip flop. Go up to cross hand position. Retreat. Ride the tiger. Palm press down. Palm strikes face. Turn. Double lotus. Draw bow to shoot tiger. And we go to this position as a setup. The second palm strikes face. turn, parry and punch again. Set it up. Flip it over. Cover hands to high pat the horse. Go back to neutral. Go to both sides. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Okay, deep breathing. So, forms, like I say, it's like a book of information. So the form is for self-cultivation, and that's what you use is, everything that's inside the form. When the older generation didn't really get into so much detail as the explanations of how to do the movements because they want you to experience it. And if they're willing to share any of the information, you have to be pretty close to that teacher. So the thing is, it takes forever to learn like that because one of the problems is, when you're learning and then you're trying to discover, you will discover things, but you don't know if they're correct. Mainly because you have to have the principles to guide them. So you have to take the principles and interpret them and then apply them to the strategy in the form. So, I've gone through this for many, many years. I know how difficult it is. So I share all this information with you so you can understand why it's so difficult and what the process is. And by giving you the ideas that are involved in the movement, it gives you a head start on what you're heading toward. But a lot of times people will go through the discovery and still be floundering because they're not getting it answered. So there's students that don't have teachers, so they really never know if they're doing it right. So, but if you have the principles and the guidelines and you can go through the process and interpret them and understand, what was involved in getting that to happen, then your body will automatically recognize it as part of that course of learning. But when it's supported by principles, and I talk about this stuff a lot, it starts to make sense, like what you're talking about. Why is it's because the tailbone has to be in this position. They have terms for that. The head and the tailbone, the coccyx, should be a vertical line. They call it. They have Chinese phrases. It's called mi lui zhong jing. Mi lui zhong jing. Zhong jing is to be vertical. Mi lui is your tailbone. But how would you know that? You might see it in a book, and they give you a phrase of those theories, but then you can't interpret it because you don't understand what it is. What does that mean? What does it mean by sink the shoulder, relax the shoulder, and lift, and all these ideas? They're just there as concepts. Sometimes they build in some kind of a metaphor for you to understand it, so you can relate to what that is, in another situation. So when you're learning this stuff, it's constantly filled with those kind of explanations. So the sinking the elbow, the shoulder relaxing, is something that's, kind of not apparent to most people, or most people have a lot of tension they don't even know that is there, mainly because they're not moving. So you won't, once you start to move, then you realize how much conflict there is in motion. The knees, why do people have trouble bending their knees? Or why do people have trouble doing footwork? When you go to the 5 coordinations, hands, eye, body, waist, and stance, those are basically the components and the categories. Why would the legs be last? Because they're most difficult to develop. Why is the hand and eye in the front? Right? Because hands and eye coordination is something that we're accustomed to. Then the body form is the posture, the name of the posture, not necessarily understanding the body form. then the waist is the torso. So then you build all these components in your body trying to get it all to come together. The leg work is difficult because the way we're wired, the hands have dexterity. The legs are typically load bearing and they do the heavy work. So the heavy work doesn't need the dexterity. But you can produce dexterity in the legs if you have control and agility from understanding how to shift your weight. So the leg part is the most difficult to develop. And it's not just in Tai Chi, it's like that in Kung Fu too. We always have to really look at our leg work because the leg work is something that we're not sensitive to because it just wants to carry your weight. So, I mean, you can run and do all this, but running is cardio, it builds cardio, but the thing is, it doesn't build agility of footwork. Agility to run, but not agility to maneuver when we want to integrate the hands. Because the complexity of the hand movement that has to tie to the legs, that's pretty complicated stuff. So, anyways. Okay. Okay, good. It's you can shut it off, you know. It's probably you should have blocked it long ago. I block phone numbers all day long. I don't know because I never listen. I always block. I block them as soon as they ring.